What's up, guys, gals? It's Griever back here, bringing you guys a movie review. It's movie review time, and what movie is it? Well, you guys know from the thumbnail, you know from the goddamn title. It's Godzilla vs. Kong. Spoilers ahead, because we're going to jump right out of the gate. We're going to jump right out of the gate with the spoilers of who won the fight. Who won? The whole thing, as you guys know from my trailer reaction, you know from my Discord and stuff, you guys know who I wanted to win this fight. But here's the deal. We were told that unlike most other matchup and versus movies, there was going to be a definitive winner. And pay me my money, because what is a king to a god, especially when that god also has the title of king? You guys know it. Gojira won. Gojira won. Godzilla won the fight. Godzilla beat King Kong. Now, that's not to say that I didn't enjoy King Kong. In fact, I think I actually enjoyed the storyline following King Kong a lot more than the Godzilla parts. Godzilla was basically seen, for the first half of the movie, was used as an antagonistic force. So we were following Kong and the good guys on that side. And then by the time it all got turned around, it was the last fight of the movie and the end of the movie. So we didn't really spend, unlike King of the Monsters or Godzilla, 2014, we didn't spend a whole lot of time with the giant dinosaur. So here's the deal, though. I should have seen this coming. I should have seen the plot twist coming. Once again, this is spoiler heavy, guys. Spoiler warning. But it wasn't just going to be Godzilla vs. Kong, was it? Should have figured that. Should have known that. Now, the depth of it is impressive. Using the whole, King Ghidorah stuff going on there with the telepathy and the all that shit, the mind control, all that. Beautifully done, beautifully done. Some people will call it cheesy, but seriously, Japan's been doing that shit for 70, 80 years now with that kind of crap. So it has worked totally fine, like in the anime community, in the manga community. It's been a thing. It's been a staple in the Godzilla franchise for so long. So I was totally fine with it, and it worked. But the thing is, we all should have known. We all should have known that it wasn't just going to be Godzilla versus Kong and one dies and one wins. Because they're both forces for humanity. Which is something I'm going to bring up in a second. I'm going to bring it up in a second. But Mechagodzilla, the Dragon Zord, appears. How did I not figure this? I watched a lot of speculation videos, theory videos. How is the movie going to play out? Who's going to win? Kong or Godzilla? Why Kong has to win? Why Godzilla has to win? In the end, Godzilla won, and I fully understand why. Because, sorry, Godzilla's stronger. He's the king of the monsters. King Kong is under the title of monster, so he's the king. He's always been the king. He even fought an alien three-headed dragon to keep the title of king. So he's the king of the earth monsters. He's the king of the alien monsters. He's the king. So at the end of the day, he's the god. He's Godzilla. But we should have all known Mechagodzilla was showing up. I don't remember seeing a single person assuming that Mechagodzilla was going to show up. And it makes total sense. It makes perfect sense. And it was awesome. Now, I do wish, because it had the whole Dragon Sword, like from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers tail thing going, with the drill thing. They had all that going. And that was cool. But Mechagodzilla, in his first appearance in the lab, looked pretty badass. But he should have looked beefier. I feel like it was almost like skeleton in nature. There should have been a little more bulk to him. Not like to make him look fat, but just he looked scrawny. Like he should have had the spikes, like the fins that they were using to replicate Godzilla's like fins down his back should have been more pronounced or bigger or something, because in certain shots he looked skinny, like he looked like an anorexic robot, and I was just like, No, I didn't want to see C-3PO. Like, that's my best comparison. It's sort of, in some shots, it didn't look like C-3PO had his plating on yet. It sort of looked like C-3PO from episode 1. Like, you know what I mean? With the whole skeletal thing. And that wasn't giving me the intimidation factor. That was just kind of like, okay. Though I do have to say a few things about that. I did like the fights. The fights were amazing. The fact that they focused way more, like they had two, because they had the Kong storyline to follow and the Godzilla storyline to follow, and still did not focus on the humans. The humans were sort of an afterthought. It was all Kong, it was all Godzilla, and it was all Mechagodzilla. It was all about the monsters this time. Even more so than, in my opinion, King of the Monsters. Like, Godzilla and Kong Skull Island both got sort of some, like, backlash because it was like, you're focused on human characters that don't matter. And they were like, okay, so they sort of fixed that for King of the Monsters, but still a little bit there. But then for Godzilla vs. Kong, they were like, yeah, people just want to see a giant lizard punch a giant monkey. Fine, we'll give you a giant lizard punching a giant monkey. And it worked. Sorry, it worked. It's such a fun movie. I actually rewatched King of the Monsters the day after I saw Godzilla vs. Kong, and I thought I loved King of the Monsters, which I still do. Godzilla vs. Kong is just more fun. It's just a more fun movie. Why? We see more of our guys, and I thought we saw plenty in King of the Monsters. It just felt different. But once again, only saw the movie once. Maybe I'm still living off the hype. Now, so once again, I think as a monster movie, and the fact that there are no more plans for future movies, and the director even came out and said that we are going to get potentially, we're going to wait for the fan reviews. We're going to wait to see what people like, what people don't like, what people want the future. Basically, they are listening to us. They want to see the YouTubers, not guys like me with 500 subscribers. They want to see those 2 million YouTubers. They want to see them go on and go, here's how I would direct Monsterverse. Here's how I would do phase 2 of the Monsterverse. Here's how I would change it up from Marvel. Here's how I would not do what DC did. Here's how I would take the forward franchise, including King Kong and Godzilla. Here's how I would do it. They're listening. So, guys, go out there. Post on Reddit. Post on YouTube. Make videos on Twitch. Talk about this series. Talk about this franchise, because we can have more of this, and they are actually listening. There are no future plans for any other Monsterverse movies because they're waiting for us. They're waiting for our response to this. And all I can say is I have one issue with this movie. Only one. Now, King Kong fans might have a bigger issue because King Kong lost, but the Hollow Earth thing, amazing. They already brought that up in King of the Monsters, and I already knew the theory before I saw King of the Monsters, and I was just like, goddamn, wow, the whole Hollow Earth thing actually being legitimate. Like, it doesn't make sense as far as science goes, but it's a cool science fiction concept to think about, and it'd just be like, fuck physics, let's just do this, right? And I like the idea, the fact that this is where the Titans all came from, and we see an enormous amount of different new sort of Titan species, these bat creatures, these dinosaur-looking creatures, and this is where King Kong came from. Kong Skull Island, like, Skull Island is actually a section of Hollow Earth that wasn't meant to be. It showed up in real Earth by mistake, by accident. That's how it showed up on a map when it wasn't there before. Totally putting the pieces together. The puzzle pieces are all lining up, and then, like, just everything about this movie was great. The human characters, when they were on screen, they were on point, and they didn't oversell a thing. Now, I will admit the Maddie and the Josh and the Bernie or whatever his name was storyline sort of dragged out a little bit of conspiracy theorists, like, just running around, like, aimlessly. Okay, I mean, it was a little, like, tacked on there just to have the element of, we have the humans on the Kong side, now we need the humans on the Godzilla side actually trying to do something. So I understand the necessity of it, but at the same time, like, nah. And that's only because, once again, and here's my one problem with the movie. Here's my one problem. I got a problem. In the trailer, we were led to believe that Godzilla was now killing humans, which he never did before. Remember, 2 movies, 2 full movies, he avoided boats. He avoided like Charlotte, he avoided bridges. He avoided destroying anything. Now, you can make a very, in my opinion, a weak argument that, well, humanity, as far as Godzilla is concerned, humanity is now officially against him. You can make that argument, but Godzilla's an intelligent creature. Godzilla is an intelligent goddamn creature, just as intelligent as Kong, who is learned sign language with a deaf girl. So, by that logic, Godzilla is at least as smart. Hence why he never destroyed a ship, and he had multiple opportunities over 2 movies. Now all of a sudden, we're led to believe in the trailer that something pissed him off. That's something that now he's in. Now, my first thought was some type of mind control, some device, some brainwave, radio wave activity that was screwing with Godzilla. What it actually ended up being was them building, because he could sense King Ghidorah. I love that. It's not just that he knew that they were building Mechagodzilla, because that'd be a little weak. That'd be a little weak until they activated it. Though they do say the moment they activated it, that's when Godzilla 3 years later decided to attack. He could sense the power of Mechagodzilla. However, even doubling down on it, they were using King Ghidorah's brainwaves and all that shit to, utilize the machine so they can control it as an autopilot sort of idea. And Godzilla sensed that and went, hell to the no, and he went in and attacked Apex. Now the thing is, that's all fine and good. I understand that aspect. And he wasn't there for wanton destruction. He was like, the people in this area are building something to attack me. I'm going to destroy the people in this area, in this box. Makes sense. And literally, like 4 dead, 8 injured, seriously? Or 8 dead and 4 injured, or whatever the hell it was. Like, seriously? He's a nuclear walking, talking bomb of a lizard, and he only killed like 4 people. Like, okay, pretty good numbers. But my problem started with when we saw what was in the trailer. He started slicing through boats. He started attacking bridges. He rampaged through Tokyo, like Hong Kong. He went through Hong Kong and he just showed up out of the water, blasted buildings, blasted everything in sight with no rhyme or reason. And I was like, that's the one problem, is that we have established through 2 movies now that Godzilla is a benevolent force. He attempts, he's a walking talking, people are going to get crushed by the falling buildings and stuff. When 2 monsters fight, I'm sure there's casualties. But same with the Avengers movies. There were casualties in the first Avengers movies. Hulk, Captain America, and Thor didn't mean to hurt anybody, but when they broke down a goddamn building, there were probably some people in the building, right? Like, it happens. That's war. That's battle. But we're seeing Godzilla, especially on the sea, we're seeing him willingly, like not dodging underneath to attack Kong. I understand his need to attack Kong, but them literally, was he perceiving them in a different way? Like, I didn't like it, because you could have shown that in the trailer and said that like the King Ghidorah thing was screwing him up or something. But we saw King Ghidorah in real time. In King of the Monsters, Godzilla didn't attack any humans. And then we saw tons of monsters rising all across the world. And he didn't all of a sudden confuse, okay, King Ghidorah or Rodan is on that volcano, so everybody who lives under that volcano is evil. We didn't see that. So I have a bit of an issue with the fact that we painted that picture of Godzilla to make King Kong look like the good guy and Godzilla look like the bad guy in the trailer, and then not really explain it in the movie. Like, in the movie, sure, attacking Apex made sense at the beginning, but destroying the Navy fleet made no sense. That's not Godzilla. Does he think, yeah, they were protecting Kong, but even, how would he know that? Godzilla shouldn't know that, because by that logic, he would have assumed in King of the Monsters or in 2014 Godzilla that the humans were protecting XYZ as well. All the other Titans, all the other monsters. So I have a bit of a problem with the fact that they painted him in that light and he still continued to attack humans. because that's the whole thing that was like, it just didn't sit well with me. Maddie brings this up and it's like, he hasn't even attacked for 3 years. We haven't even seen him for 3 years because the Titans were gone. King Kong was, you know, under protection in Skull Island, and Godzilla was the king. He never bothered us. Something Apex did set him off. Fine dandy. But then throughout the rest of the movie, he seems to not care about wanton destruction or human beings in the way. It's like, oh, there's a bridge there? Don't worry about it. He killed dozens, if not hundreds of people in Hong Kong. And I'm just like, yeah, he's a giant monster. Maybe he shouldn't care, but we saw him literally dodge and go under ships, under bridges for 2 movies. Now you're convincing me that, oh, well, he's just an animal. He doesn't know any better. It's like, no, he does. He's intelligent, and he does know better. What the hell? So I do have that problem with the direction they took him. Trying to make him look evil screwed up in that way because it goes against what we saw and what was established for 2 other movies. Now, once again, I did like the soundtrack. I loved the fights. The fights were amazing. Godzilla versus Kong, I love how they had multiple rounds. They even sort of do a bit of a tally. And I love the fact that after round 2, Godzilla's just like shaking it off. He's like, yeah, all right, you got it. Yeah, all right. I felt that one. Okay, piss off. I got to go take care of the real threat, you know, from the beginning of the movie that none of you seem to be aware of. And then King Kong comes at him again. And Godzilla's like, wait a minute, you little bitch. Like, I kicked your ass before. I let you have a W. I walked away and said, yeah, you take the W. But I got bigger fish to fry. And now you're coming at me again? And he literally beat King Kong into having a heart attack. You know, so, and I was just like, all right, the king lives. I did like all the way the acting went, and I like the evolution of a lot of the human characters. I love the fact that we don't know much about them because it didn't focus on them. For God's sakes, thank God we're here to watch 2 giant monsters beat the shit out of each other. That's what we're here for 2 hours for. Let's see mostly that. We saw mostly that. I love that aspect of it. Yeah. So I really seriously enjoyed the movie, and especially with the pandemic protocols. I was able to sit back in the theater all by myself. I got to pick my reserved seat right in the front center, right damn center row, center stage, the whole bit. Got to lean up, put my feet on the chair. It was glorious. I had a whole theater to myself at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was fantastic. I absolutely enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed the movie. I waited for the post-credit scene. There is none because, once again, apparently they're waiting for us the fans, to tell them what direction we want to take it. Honestly, with the introduction of Mechagodzilla and then this later destruction, I'm sort of at a bit of a loss just right here and now. I'm sure I could come up with something. And there was so much to pull from. There's like 30-odd Godzilla movies. There's been like 12 or like 8 King Kong movies with remake after remake after remake. I'm sure we can come up with something, especially with the Hollow Earth thing going on. I'm sure we can come up with something to work with these monster movies. But right now, I'm just drawing a bit of a blank. I think this was a good culmination. If this is where the story ends, if we got 3 Godzilla movies and 2 King Kong movies, you want to look at it that way, 4 movies, these are damn good 4 movies. These are good 4 solid monster movies. I would like to see more. I hope to see more. As I said, Godzilla won the fight, and I love that. He was weakened when he fought Mechagodzilla. Of course, maybe Godzilla at full strength could have taken Mechagodzilla by himself. Hard to say, but King Kong helps him out in the end. Apparently, there was a post-credits scene, but it was used in the movie at the end with the Hollow Earth and King Kong just jumping around, being like, I'm going for my morning walk. Boom, 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 boom. I'm King Kong, right? Apparently that was the post-credit scene, but it doesn't reveal anything new or any like teasers for future installments. So there is that aspect. Yeah, just overall, I just thought that this was a great if this is the end of the MonsterVerse, which I hope it's not, because I love this interpretation of Godzilla, other than, as I said, I already spoke about my problems with him in this movie, but I love this interpretation of Godzilla, love this interpretation of Kong, love the direction of the storylines they have given them, with some realism really thought out and put into it. And yeah, overall, I just think it's if this is the end, it was a damn good send-off movie. Hope it's not the end. Maybe that'll be like the Fast and Furious movies. They just don't know when to stop. But we'll find out later. Either way, thought it was a great movie. Hope you guys enjoyed the movie as well, if you didn't already see it. If you didn't see it and you've watched this spoiler heavy as hell review, then I hope that you will go see it if you just didn't care before, but now you do care. I hope you definitely go see it. Like, comment, and subscribe as always, guys. It's always very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit all those buttons, all those links, all that good jazz. And we will see you guys back here next time. Don't forget to drink responsibly. As always, as you know me, Griever, I always do. And we'll see you guys back here next time. Peace out.